Okay, so quickly what we're going to do is we're going to review how to do slope. Okay, um, and so slope is rise divided by run. That's what we like know it as, is rise over run. Um, However, rise is like a vertical movement, right? Rise is how far are we going up and how far are we going down. So if I wanted to find the slope of this line here, I'm going to always start at the leftmost point. Okay, I'm going to always start here. And then when I rise, I'm seeing how far do I have to go up, just straight up to get to this point. So in this case, I'm going to draw an arrow up, and up is a positive movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units. So my rise is a positive 5. And I'm going to put the plus sign there because it's important for me to remember that I'm paying attention to my directions. Then I'm going to see what my run is. My run is a horizontal movement. How far am I moving left or right? So then from here, I'm going to move right. Right is a positive movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units. So my run is a positive 6. So the slope of this line is going to be a positive divided by a positive, which is positive 5, 6. Now, some of you might say, well, what if I start at the other point? Let me just quickly show you that. If you start here, you're rising in a negative direction first. So this is going to be a negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units. It'll still be negative. It'll still be 5 units. It's just negative direction instead. Then when you run, right, you're going left, which is a negative movement, and you're still moving 6 units. And a negative divided by a negative is a positive, and it's still 5, 6. So as you see, you get the same thing no matter where you start. It's just one would be a negative divided by a negative. The other one would be a positive divided by a positive. Okay. But there's another way that we can determine slope. Slope is also known as y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. It's a formula. This is a formula to determine slope, to get slope. Now these x's and y's, these are the coordinates. So let's quickly go and find these coordinates. The coordinate of this point is right 2, up 3. The coordinate of this point is left 4, down 2. And then you just pick one of them to be your first point. So I'm going to decide that this point over here, this is going to be x1, y1. This is the first, that's what the first one is for, coordinate. Then you will label this one x2, y2. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to highlight my y coordinates blue because y has to do with a vertical movement, and my x coordinates green. This is going to help me make sure that I substitute them into the correct part. So y2 minus y1. y2, which is 3, minus y1, which is a negative 2. Divided by x2, which is 2, minus x1, which is a negative 4. Now we need to simplify this. Minus a negative is actually plus a positive, minus a negative, plus a positive. So 3 plus 2 is 5. 2 plus 4 is 6. So as you see, you get the same answer. using the slope formula or actually counting it. We're going to do one more example. I'm going to do this a little bit quicker. Okay? So I'm going to determine the slope, which is rise divided by run. My rise is always going to be blue, and my run is always going to be green. So rise is a vertical movement, and I'm going to start at the leftmost point. So my rise, I'm going down, which is a negative distance. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, 4. Then I'm going to run right, which is a positive movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A negative divided by a positive is a negative 4/5. If I wanted to use the slope formula, y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1, first thing I do is label each point. I'll go ahead and label this point -1, 1, 2, 3, 4. This point is, I'm going to go right 4 units, up or down 0. This will be x1, y1 because I feel like it, not for any other reason. Highlight my y coordinates blue because those are my rise values, and my x coordinates green. Okay, now I substitute y2, which is 0, minus y1, which is 4, divided by x2, which is 4, minus x1, which is a -1. This is actually plus a positive. 0 minus 4, -4. 4 plus 1 is 5. So as you see, we still get -4/5.